Eagles of Nigeria, Coach Osepasero. He says he's still jobless and nobody is coming for him.
If he's good enough, very soon countries will come for him.
In one word, or rather in one sentence, if he's good enough, countries will come for him. All right, so thank you, Mr. Dayo Awoni. It's such a pleasure having you on Signature Sport this morning. Hopefully we do this again some other time.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
All right, that was Mr. Dayo Awoni. He joined us discussing the Nigerian Premier Football League. Before we wrap it up from the local scene and move over now to the foreign scene, let's let you know that by FIFA over granting Morocco to be the host nation of the Under-17 Women's World Cup. Morocco, over time, have shown administrative prowess, have also showed the continent of Africa and the world at large what it takes to be a champion, both on and off the field. And little wonder, FIFA have recognized their presence as well as their preparedness to host the World Cup in the Under-17 Women's World Cup. We will continue to give you updates as that one's pan out. All right, let's go on a short break. When we return, we will be moving over to the foreign scene where so much went down in the world of football, UFC, tennis, and others. Don't touch the dial. Signature Sport will definitely make a return.
The consequence of the unfortunate situation we citizens are experiencing in many parts of the country with flooding are both in terms of health and in terms of livelihood, in terms of lives that are lost. And there is the real worry. Once you contaminate water sources or you do not have a source for safe water to drink, then you're likely to drink contaminated water, and therefore there you have the risk of waterborne diseases. This is recognized as part of the response to flooding, with the looking after the internally displaced persons and provision of safe water. And we recognize that there might be, in recognition of this risk, that we need to perhaps start to take steps to prepare, declare and perhaps present dangers, they say, of waterborne diseases in the situation of the type of flooding that we have seen in different parts of the country. I think it's also important to mention that exactly the situation that we have with this flooding and cholera is actually what we have in other parts of the country that are experiencing cholera at the moment. There's no flooding, but with the advent of the rainy season and now rains everywhere, and because there's previously and there still continues to be indiscriminate defecation, rainwater washes all of that into the water sources, contaminating them, and thereby people do not have a safe source of water and end up drinking and using contaminated water, which then leads to cholera. What we now have in the situation of flooding is now multiply that by several factors if people stay in the flooded area. So it's part of why you need to move people away and to where they are, provide safe water, among other things, to relieve their suffering. There are things you can do, and we have released advisories and messages concerning that. You know, if you're not sure, for example, about the source of your water, boil your water before you drink it. Make sure that your food is properly cooked, cooked through and through before you do it. And then personal hygiene, you make sure you wash your hands as frequently as possible with soap and water, or now that hand sanitizers are present, also do that. It's important that we are avoiding discriminate defecation, because your water source may be contaminated by your own physics or physics of members of your family. So these are some steps to take. Nigeria is not doing very well in terms of the practice of open defecation, and that really is an area that we need, the press and others to advocate for. And of course, we recognize that you then also have to answer the question: why are people defecating openly? If you ask them to stop, where do they go? So again, state governments, local governments need to. I'm working with all of the partners and support that they need. They need to work on investments in water, sanitation, and hygiene. So we provide water, provide safe disposal of sewage and other related things.
Welcome back to Signature Television. This is a Signature Sport, and I'm Franklin Emona. And in case you are just joining us, you have missed the first half of the show. But come on, we've got so much for you in the second half. I also do well to follow us on all our social media handle. Most importantly, our YouTube page. Do well to like, share, subscribe, and most importantly, click on the notification bell so you get notified anytime we are on line or when we have a program for you, which we always do 24 hours every day. And all right, so we move over to the Unified Fighting Championship 307, popularly known as the UFC, where Alex Pereira retained his UFC lightweight championship following that impressive fight over the weekend against Kelly Rotre, where he won in stoppage time. In the second half, he was actually floored twice, talking about Alex Pereira, but an opponent in a remarkable way. And Pereira, who is just 37 years of age, recovered and of course resumed in a clinical way. And he had to floor his opponent several times until he was declared a champion following a technical knockout. Away from the UFC, we move over now to tennis, where American star Coco Gauff showed why she is the best when it comes to the game in tennis, as she defeated her opponent Motova to win the China Open over the weekend. Recall a couple of days ago, it was Carlos Alcaraz who defeated Yannick Sinner to clinch the male version. But Coco Gauff again shows that she is the best when it comes to the game of tennis, defeating Mochova 6-1, 6-3 in the finals. And away from that, we move to the game of football, where it is regarded as the king of sports. Over the weekend, we saw actions resume all across Europe in the top 5 leagues, as well as other leagues from the Israeli leagues, as well as the league in Belgium known as the Jupiter League. But most importantly, action resumes in the English Premier League, where one team remains winless in 5. Joining us all joining us, I beg your pardon, from Akwa Ibom State is a sports journalist, a sports entrepreneur, and a sports enthusiast, known as he goes by the name Emmaubong Obot. Everybody knows him where he's from as OBS. He has carved an inch for himself in the world of sport. He joins me all the way from Akwa Ibom State. OBS, or let me call you Obom. It's a pleasure having you join me on the show this morning. Welcome to Signature Sport.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I hope you can hear me, yeah?
All right, quickly, let's begin from the English Premier League, the most followed league all across Europe, where Manchester United were in action yesterday. Once again, they are the underdog and they failed to defeat Aston Villa. What's your take in that game? United is now winless in 5 games.
Well, so far, Manchester United has been really underwhelming, due to the fact that I feel like the coach has actually come under so much opportunity and fire and pressure based on the fact that he actually wasn't playing a good football last season, and this season he has come out to demand for certain players which have been given to him, and then the season has commenced. But so far, been really underwhelming. As a matter of fact, he even broke his previous winless and poor record for last season. Broke his current poor record in the Premier League as the worst Manchester United manager to start the league with very frustrating record. So for me, I feel like he has some issues to sort out with the players, because the players are really underwhelming so far, really, really underwhelming. So I think he has to really iron out the players and discipline them in their game. He also has himself to blame as well.
Looking at Aston Villa goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez, once again he proved to be the stumbling block for Man United. Would you want to give it to Emiliano Martinez, or you see Manchester United attackers as not been clinical enough?
Well, Martinez actually is a very good goalkeeper right from time. Martinez has been amazing, and I'm sure some FPL managers must have picked Martinez, so far in their team. So far, Martinez is actually good, but I feel like Man United attackers were not clinical enough, especially the likes of Garnacho and the rest. So far, we've been really underwhelming. So I wouldn't put the blame on Martinez. I wouldn't put the blame on, how do I put it? I wouldn't say Martinez was really, really that good, because I feel like Man United has all the firepower to actually overcome Aston Villa as far as Premier League is concerned. So it's actually the team, the attack were not clinical enough. Martinez was good, but they were not clinical enough. So yeah, the fault goes to the attack, yeah.
All right, Mr. Obong, you are a sports fan and also a sports digital content creator when it comes to the world of sport. Still looking at the games that went down yesterday, where Tottenham Hotspur were also in action. Surprisingly, 2 goals ahead for Angel Postecoglou, but Brighton and Hove Albion came out gun blazing in the second half to win that game by 3 goals to 2. Could this be the second season syndrome for Postecoglou, or it is just the beauty of the EPL?
Well, for me, basically EPL is full of surprises. So yeah, of course, we might think that the bigger teams are going to come up with the dominance as usual. But the fun of EPL is that the smaller teams come up and send up surprises, back to back. So this is the fun of EPL. So I feel like it is just one of those things. So I don't feel like it's something that is it's not a rough session. This is EPL, and we're ready for the entertainment. Whoever comes up top, we're ready for it. So yeah, it's part of the EPL, entertainment. Yeah.
But they were 3-0 better than Man United last 2 weeks ago in the match day 6. But surprisingly, they were defeated by a team that hasn't really been good in the last few games, Brighton and Hove Albion. Looking at Tottenham, could it be the absence of Son Heung-min, or Angel Postecoglou is just getting his tactics wrong?
You mean Tottenham being dominant over Manchester United or over Brighton? Which do you mean, sorry?
All right, let's look at the game between Chelsea and Nottingham Forest. Chelsea, who have been, they have gone 6 games on a winning streak in all competition, including back-to-back 5 games in a row in the EPL. They were pegged 1-1 by Nottingham Forest, but that game saw a red card and also 6 yellow card for Chelsea players. Ward-Prowse was shown a red card, and 6 players from Chelsea were yellow carded, including Cucurella and Fofana, who will mix their next game against Liverpool. For Enzo Maresca, could it be the manager of the month syndrome, or it is just Chelsea who didn't have a good day in the office yesterday?
I think that it was just a bad day for Chelsea because they've been really exceptional so far. Surprisingly, it has been really amazing. Their form has been really, up the top. As a matter of fact, they have some bragging rights this season coming in with a new manager that's been really performing and is even a contender for the manager of the month. So I feel like it was really a bad day for Chelsea, yes. So it wasn't, it's just one of those things. It happens at times. These are the challenges you get to face, in the world of football as far as Premier League.
It's a beautiful, but let's still continue with the English Premier League, where there were big wins for Arsenal, Liverpool and Manchester City, and this team maintains a top spot for Liverpool, Manchester City and Arsenal respectively. That is how the seats in the English Premier Football League. Liverpool 2-1 winners over the weekend. And for Arsenal, they had to come back from a 1-0 down against a Southampton team to maximum point. For Manchester City, 5 goals, 3-2 the one Brentford. What can we say? These 3 teams are taking a claim to the English Premier Football League. Let's hear your take on those games quickly.
Well, I think Arsenal has always been consistent when it comes to winning. Often, especially as soon as the season comes up, they come up with some very good performances. They're a very good football team, and they're very consistent with their performances so far. It's been really amazing. The surprise for me is Liverpool that just changed their manager, and this man has been really amazing so far. He's been performing really good. He's won about 9 games in 10 games, 10 opening games in the Premier in all competitions. I beg your pardon. So it's been really amazing. The competition is very close and very tight. So I feel like it's going to be a very tough one for Manchester City this particular season. But although they were actually lucky to have had that win, late in their game, and they defeated Fulham 3-2. That game was actually a very exciting one, thanks to Doku's goal. So I feel like it's going to be a very close call. But I'm not writing off Liverpool this season at all. Liverpool are really going to be up there, and of course Arsenal. I'm not thinking.
It is still early in the EPL as games continue to pile up for this team. Now, let's look at Arsenal, with Kai Havertz showing the reason why moving from Chelsea to Arsenal was a good move. Yes, he got a goal, meaning that he has scored he has scored 4 goals in 6 games in the EPL, but he picked up a knock, and that will possibly rule him out for the German national team in the international window. He will not be part of the team to play that double header in their game over the international break. Big blow for Arsenal or Mikel Arteta. You see him picking up something, or better still, a player that can comfortably replace Kai Havertz when it comes to the goal scoring form. Or you see him coming back just before the start of the season after the international break.
Havertz has been really amazing. He's been in super form. When he got to Arsenal at first, we were really thinking that he's not really going to perform. But I feel like Arsenal's manager is actually very good. He has a very good man management skill, and he's been able to manage Kai Havertz in such a way that he's come up so prolific in the Premier League. I really trust this man so much because of his man management. So I think that the fact that Havertz is injured for a while will not really affect that much. It might, but I think he's going to come up with somebody that might replace him for a while, and then pending that time, because the Arsenal team is very competitive. It's really competitive. So I feel like somebody will come up and fill up that gap at the moment, because what depth is there at the moment. So I don't think it's something to really worry about. Yeah.
Right, let's move to the Spanish La Liga, where Barcelona and Real Madrid recorded a big wins over the weekend. For Barcelona, it was Robert Lewandowski who showed why he is still ageless when it comes to goals scoring. 3 goals to nil, his hat-trick helped his team to win over the weekend.
Yeah. So yeah, has been amazing. Yeah, really amazing. Okay. Are you there?
All right, while we'll still get connected with a man all the way from Akwa Ibom State, we continue to give you updates on the game between Barcelona and their opponent, where they showed more reason why they are set to win the Spanish La Liga and perhaps wrestle it away from Real Madrid. Real Madrid, in the other end, we are 2-0 winners over the weekend. Vinicius Jr. was on the score sheet for his coach, and of course, his team. It's looking like it's going to be a two-horse race in the Spanish La Liga between Barcelona and Real Madrid. Not forgetting other teams that have also showed against Samuel Chukwueze's AC Milan, against Samuel Chukwueze's AC Milan. As for Napoli, they continue to search on and show that they are set to shock everyone this season in the Italian Serie A. Former Manchester United player Scott McTominay was also on the score sheet. And for Romelu Lukaku, the man that replaced the Nigerian Victor Osimhen, is still showing that is the go-to source man. He's still showing that his strength, his energy, and his athleticism hasn't left him. For Napoli, it was a win over the weekend. They sit top of the Italian Serie A, and Inter Milan sits second, even though they were also winners over the weekend. But it is looking like a battle to finish. Still having a man all the way from Akwa Ibom State, Emil Bong Obot, a sport fan, sport journalist, a sport entrepreneur, and a sport digital content creator. He was with us earlier on the phone, and he joins us back via Zoom. Obot, we lost you for a moment, but good to have you join us on the show. We are still talking the Spanish La Liga. Barcelona, Real Madrid. Who can stop these two teams?
Really, really, really amazing. Barcelona and Real Madrid, and a big highlight for Lewandowski as he came out to score a hat-trick yesterday. I mean, in that encounter, I mean, Lewandowski seems like he's ageless despite his age. He's still scoring. I feel like.
Welcome to Signature TV News. I am Barry Kumo Ado. In the headlines, protest as explosion rock Rivers State local government as FOBARA's chairman resume. NAVDAC staff commence indefinite nationwide strike. Israeli ambassador to Nigeria call on African leaders to weigh in on Middle East crisis. And Russian court sentences U.S. citizen to 7 years in prison on assault charges. Details shortly. As the newly elected local government chairman in Rivers State take over the reign of governance today, some migrants set the Secretariat of Eleme and Ikwere local governments on fire. The incident was followed by Monday's order by an Inspector General of Police, Kayode Betokun, for the Secretariat of the 23 local governments to be unsealed and immediate withdrawal of policemen who had occupied the council since July. There was also sporadic shooting at Obiakpo and Eleme local government areas and other areas within the state. CKN News guided that aggrieved supporters of a godfather who opposed the election are making sure that the elected chairman of the local government did not take over. Recall that the local government election was held on Saturday. The APP was declared winner of 22 of the seats, while the Che local government area was won by AA Party. Governor Similaye Fubara, during the swearing of the chairman on Sunday, urged them to shun violence. According to him, credible information at his disposal prevailed. The supporters of an Abuja-based minister have mobilized some miscreants to unleash mayhem on Monday, urging the chairman not to engage them. Other efforts were made by security personnel to repel the attackers in Ogbe Megma, Ndoni, and Obiakwa local government areas. Early on Monday, the new River State Commissioner of Police unsealed all the local government secretariats earlier occupied by the police. Former Deputy National Chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Chief Bode George, has raised concerns over recent political developments in River State, warning that if not addressed, it could lead to a crisis with far-reaching security implications for Nigeria, West Africa, and Africa at large. Chief George urged Governor Similaye Fubara to be allowed to govern and deliver the dividends of democracy to the people of River State without interference. Reacting to the recent local government elections in the state, George said any threat to peace in River State could have severe security consequences, not just for Nigeria, but for the entire West African region. Called on President Bola Tinubu to intervene by advising the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, to refrain from actions that might destabilize the state. According to George, Rivers is too economically and politically important to Nigeria's survival to be plunged into conflict. Governor Similaye Fubara of Rivers State on Sunday presided over the swearing-in ceremony of the newly elected chairpersons of the 23 local government councils in the state. Inauguration was observed by Senator Bala Mohammed, the governor of Bauchi State and chairman of the People's Democratic Party Governors Forum. The River State local government election was held on Saturday across the state. Results from the State Independent Electoral Commission, RIFSEC, said the Action People's Party won 22 out of the 23 local governments. The Chief Election Officer of River State, Justice Adolphus Enebele, disclosed this on Saturday in Port Harcourt, the state capital. While declaring the results, Enebele said the announcement was suspended in Eche local government area because the results collation was ongoing. Enebele clarified that the result of the Eche local government area and the 319 councillorship positions will be announced upon the conclusion of the collation. RIFSEC later declared Uzodimma Nwafo of the Action Alliance went out of the poll in the Che local government area. The Ijaw National Congress, INC Worldwide, has urged President Bola Tinubu to pay close attention to political developments in Rivers to avoid breakdown of law and order. Professor Benjamin Okaba, President INC, said this in a statement on Monday in Abuja. Governor Siminalayi Fubara and the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike have been at loggerheads over the political soul of the state. Said the political tension in the state was capable of breaching public peace and threatening democracy in the state. It said 3 states in Nigeria, Akwa Ibom, Benue, and Jigawa, conducted local government elections at the same time as Rivers with less rancor. Okaba further said INC would not comprehend how a federal high court would restrain the police from performing our constitutional responsibilities. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has ordered the immediate withdrawal of police personnel previously deployed to seal off 23 local government states. The directive was announced on Monday in a statement by Grace Nringe Koko, Public Relations Officer of the State Command. According to the statement, the order follows recent political developments in Rivers State. It further, the Rivers State Command assured the public of its continued commitment to maintaining peace and order across the state while reiterating its professional conduct carrying out its duties. Residents and stakeholders were urged to remain calm and law-abiding as the situation unfolds. The member representing ENUGU North and South constituency in the House of Representatives, The House of Representatives, Chimobiatu, has assured Nigerians that the ongoing amendment to the country's electoral law would ensure
A
true
recent Supreme
democracy
Court judgment that local governments in the country without
local government elections by various state independent electoral commissions who are controlled by the state governors has denied the people the much desired development. Correspondent Chinemerem Ikebunam, who had a chat with a lawmaker at his Ugwaji hometown, ENUGU South local government area, now reports.
Court judgment that local governments in the country without elected executives should not receive allocations from the federation accounts has put many state governments on their toes. As many as 4 states conducted their local government elections over the weekend, even though the election in Rivers State dominated media attention, apparently as a result of power struggle in the state. And even as other states make efforts to institute democratically elected councils, the allegation of imposition of candidates by state governors on the electorate is still rife. But a member of the House of Representatives, Chimobiatu, said the issue is receiving the attention of the National Assembly. He said the local government election should be freed from the control of state governments.
That is why I say it's more better they will have a national independent electoral commission that will handle the local government. See, if we don't get it right in local government, all these things we are doing in state and federal government will not. Do you know that sometimes federal government will give directive to local government and they don't share it? Do you know that local government got their direct allocation from federal? But you see there's many roads in rural areas. It's not tied. You still see that people in rural areas are suffering. Not health care for them. They want everything to work. And we have 3 tiers of government. Federal, state and local government. How many is working? Most people expect us as the lawmakers to tie road. Most people expect us as a lawmaker to put pipe-borne water. Most people, but is it part of our duty as a lawmaker? Our duty is to make laws. Oversight it is the executive. But because most of them failed from the local government. So the pressure, the expectations from people, because the lawmakers are more closer to the people. That is why they expect us to do magic. In a little way, we'll go and talk to the executive. The ones we can, we'll bring it to the people. But it's not part of our job.
Atu emphasized the need to ensure that leaders are elected by the people based on their capacity and not their parties.
The change, people are tired of suffering. People are tired of insecurity. People are tired of fuel scarcity and the increase in price. People are tired of unemployment. People are tired of lack of food in the society. Nothing is working, both in health sector. It's not about the party. It's about what Nigeria needs.
A new crop of local government chairmen and councillors, all belonging to the ruling People's Democratic Party, took over the 17 local government areas of Enugu State, recently following the conduct of the council elections. The same pattern also plays out in several states where the ruling parties take control of the councils. Expectations are high that the issue of constitutional amendment that will strip the state's independent electoral commissions of the power to conduct local government elections will come into force sooner than later to ensure the enthronement of true democracy. Chinemerem Ikebunam, Signature TV News.
The police in Ogun State has arrested 33-year-old Olayemi Olawale Shedrack, suspected rapist and armed robber in Ijagun, Odobolu local government area of the state. The suspect was arrested in connection to an alleged armed robbery and rape of female students in the Thai University of Education, ENUGU. But was arrested for an intelligence report while trying to conceal himself among the crowd. She said Olayemi Olawale Shedrack has been on a police search for armed robbery and rape. The PBRO noted that the suspect will soon be transferred to the State Criminal Investigation Department for discreet investigation and prosecution. Meanwhile, the Commissioner of Police, Alamutu Abiodun, has urged members of the Jagun community to volunteer credible information that can assist the police arrest other perpetrators. The Nigerian Navy said its troops of Operation Delta Sanite have discovered and deactivated an illegal refining site with one cooking tank, one storage tank, and one dugout pit laden with an unsatisfied amount of stolen crude oil in Bolo General Area, River State. In a statement on its social media page, the Navy Authority said it had taken into custody the suspected crude oil thieves until investigations were completed. Police in Anambra State say they have thwarted a kidnap attempt on a foreign national by suspected armed secessionists in Ogbunka, Orumba South local government area. Statement signed by the Anambra State Police Public Relations Officer Tochukwu Kenga said police operatives engaged the hoodlums in a gun battle early Sunday morning, saving a foreigner with 2 personnel sustaining bullet wounds. Kenga said the wounded officers are stable and receiving treatment in a hospital, while operations are ongoing in the area for the possible arrest of the armed men. Kenga also disclosed that police operatives attached to Nemo Police Station discovered 4 lifeless bodies of young men in a pool of blood, suspected multiple gunshot injuries, lying on the road at Norfia, Njikoka local government area of Anambra State. Said the victims, whose bodies have been deposited at the morgue, were later identified as one Ebukai Kenta of Umume Village, Norfia, Natwaya Jr., also known as Starboy of Umume Village, Norfia, and Emenna, also known as Asama of Umuariam Village, Norfia, and one Ahmed Awal. Information from eyewitnesses and some villagers alleged that the victims are known for their nefarious activities and always in rivalry with another cult group in the area. Meanwhile, Commissioner of Police Naye Tam has ordered the immediate investigations into the gruesome murder of a 17-year-old girl suspected of being used for ritual purposes. The girl, whose lifeless body was found in a bush at Omasi in Ayelum local government area of the state Sunday evening, was later identified as Chinasa Digwe from Umeje community. According to the statement, the private parts were cut off in a bush at Omasi before police were alerted. Staff of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, embarked on an indefinite nationwide strike on Monday following the expiration of a 14-day ultimatum issued to the agency's management. This is coming after a meeting convened on Friday, October 4, 2024, over unresolved issues. The staff demands include a review and re-evaluation of the 2024 promotion examination results, which currently show a pass rate of only 35%. The union is also advocating for a minimum benchmark of 80% for this year and future promotion exams. Another significant demand is a settlement of salary arrears for employees hired in 2022. The statement signed by the Association Secretary, Ejo Michael, the union accused NAFDAC management of neglecting their grievances, labeling their inaction as insufferable. Striking workers, following the directive of the Senior Staff Association of Statutory Corporations and government-owned companies, have been instructed to withdraw all services and vacate their offices. They were also told to remove personal belongings as a strike. Under Obiano's government, Tubelo III prosecution witness PW3 said though it was with the bank between November 2, 2008 and March 24, 2023, he is now a businessman. Said that the signatories to the security vote account were the former principal secretary to the ex-governor William Wokoye and the accountant Theophilus Mweze. Said he interfaced with them mostly on a daily and weekly basis in processing their transactions. P33 admitted that funds from a secured votes account